I'm in New York City, and I am a CBD educator and became one when I used CBD to manage my own anxiety and postpartum depression. And, the funny thing is, I did not even know I had anxiety and postpartum depression. I did not know the signs of it until my therapist had told me I had it. And she said, you really should try CBD, because she knew that I did not want to do pharmaceutical meds. And from there, I got my medical card and got my CBD. Um, and just to let you know, I was a cannabis enthusiast beforehand, but never discovered the CBD side. So when I started at a medical dispensary, there was no guidance, no education provided. But I got my CBD and I tried it, and it was amazing. It started, um, right? Yes, exactly. So it was after my second child, I started the medical CBD, and my life just changed drastically. My life went from, I was that irritable, angry, impatient, yelling mom. I was highly reactive and always worried about, shuffling my kids from point A to point B. And when I took CBD, that was when finally I was able um, to. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
So when I took CBD, that was when I was finally able to be present and mindful and so aware of what, my triggers were, my, symptoms, and I was more aware of it. I felt like, how you feel when you're that hamster on that hamster wheel, and finally I took CBD and it allowed me to step out of it and see, oh my gosh, I am that hamster on a hamster wheel. Why? Why am I doing that to myself? And I finally felt what normal felt like, not to be suffering from intrusive thoughts, that long list. So that's what compelled me to become a CBD educator, when I saw the drastic results in myself. And that's when I knew I had to get the word out and help others find, you know, teach others about plant medicine and how to use it properly. Because I found there are two issues right now for consumers, and that is, one, not everyone understands how to use plant medicine properly. And two, let's say you do research and you find out how to use plant medicine properly, then you have to find a safe and quality product. And when we're in that mental state, we're not in the capacity to be like, okay, let me research all this. And so I really want to help people so that they can go straight to finding their relief and feeling better. Yes. Hi, Heather. Did you want to share something?
Was muting myself because I forget to do that when I'm on here, and I'm alone, but no, I just really was thinking, as you were discussing having postpartum depression, it's like I didn't realize it at the time, and I did smoke marijuana back in those days, but it was whatever you could find, but it was just interesting to hear you discuss that, because I think CBD, knowing what I know about CBD now, that CBD would have been a really wonderful thing.
Yes, definitely. And that's why I'm trying to teach moms, especially moms, because I feel that moms, we take on so much, we continue to unfortunately take on so much at the sacrifice of our own health, right? We're always worried about the family, the kids, and we don't stop. We just keep on trucking, right? Even when we know, okay, we're not doing so well ourselves, but we just keep on going. So that's why I really want moms to understand, hey, you can use CBD, and it's so, there's minimal side effects. And there's really such a better option than pharmaceutical drugs. And, and I understand it is not the answer to everything. I understand wellness is a combination of using different modalities to keep your health in check, right? Like we can do yoga or meditation. We have to make sure we're eating right, we're getting adequate sleep. And however, I do also understand as a mom, like especially now during the pandemic, it's very hard for me right now to find 30 minutes to do meditation or do yoga. So for me, I use CBD as my wellness tool to really keep me mentally stable and also to help with my body, right? Because I'm not getting the exercise that I want, and I'm also definitely not getting enough sleep. So the CBD helps from my body falling apart. So I'm going to see if I could share my slideshow because I'm going to talk about, and this is really great for people who are still new to CBD, who want to understand it better and how to understand mindful dosing and, or how to use CBD and incorporate it into your routine. So what I do with Calm Better Days is I like to walk people through the basics of CBD because once we understand the basics, how it works in our body, different delivery methods, then we can really start using plant medicine properly. So I'm going to share screen. I'm going to see if I can do this. Ooh, okay. Are you able to see my screen on what is CBD on the white and purple? Heather, if you can just tell me if you're seeing that.
Muted myself again. Yes, I can see it.
Okay, is it coming up as one screen or multiple screens?
It looks
back onto it.
It looks like there's a bunch of screens and it's like you're going down the rabbit hole.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna share again. Let me see if I'm pressing the right thing. Chrome tab. Aha, I got it now. Okay, how about now, Heather?
Yes, it's up on the screen.
Awesome. Okay, so what is CBD? So CBD is one of over 100 cannabinoids found in the cannabis plant. The two most famous ones are THC and CBD. THC is the cannabinoid known to get you euphorically high, and CBD that does not get you euphorically high. And both have their own specific therapeutic benefits. And in fact, if you take ever too much THC, or you take an edible and you didn't know had THC, you can actually take CBD to lower the intensity of the high. So, and for the audience, if you have a question, feel free to ask. Actually, I can't actually see it because I don't see the chat function. I'm in my if you see it, maybe you can let me know. Since you're up on stage too. So, okay. So what are people using CBD for? People are using CBD for pain is the most used reason for it. Anxiety and stress come in second. Sleep and insomnia. And then arthritis. There's depression, migraines, headaches, digestive issues, acne, and general health benefits, and other reasons, which could be Parkinson's, epilepsy, a whole slew of other items. And you're probably wondering, if you're like me, I used to wonder, how can this plant help with so many health conditions, right? Well, the reason why it can address all those, because when we take CBD, which is first off, every human, in all of us, we have something called the endocannabinoid system. And in the word endo, meaning for body, and cannabinoid, because we actually produce our own cannabinoids. So when we're taking CBD, which is a plant-based phytocannabinoid, it mimics our own natural producing cannabinoids to help our endocannabinoid system run. So now what does your endocannabinoid system do? You can think of it as your body's master modulator. Its only one job is to bring your body back to balance, what they call homeostasis. And how it works is that we have CB1 and CB2 receptors all over our body, our brain, our immune system, our organs, our skin. And how it works is that the cannabinoids are like, you can think of them as the runners, and they run between the CB1, CB2 receptors, seeing, okay, what needs help healing, what needs help balancing out. So, and then it communicates back to the endocannabinoid system and say, hey, this needs help regulating, this needs help. So then your endocannabinoid system does its job. And and that is how it helps with so many things, from, the previous health benefits. And when you think about it, your endocannabinoid system, because it's your body's master modulator, it is in charge of your motor activity, your sleep, your appetite. It is regulating, for example, your blood glucose level, so one doesn't have diabetes. So that is how it's run. And then the next question would be, okay, well, if that's what it's doing, why is it not working? Why do I have this, let's say, arthritis pain? Or why am I having, diabetes, let's say? Well, so what happens is that the reason why we are cannabinoid deficient, or your endocannabinoid system crashes, is because back in prehistoric time, when we're stressed, right, it was to signal the fight or flight signal. And that was to say, hey, there's a lion, we have to run to save our lives. And we have adrenaline pumping, we're running as fast as we can, and we save our lives. However, in modern day society, now we are stressed 24/7, right? We've got, the phone, we're on social media 24/7. Before was the presidential race. Now we still have the pandemic looming. So when we're stressed 24/7, which our body is not meant to be, we are running our cannabinoids. It is trying to find that stress signal. And it's like, where is it coming from? Where is that stress signal coming from? And it's coming 24/7. So you eventually run off your cannabinoids, and your endocannabinoid system can't run efficiently because it is it kind of crashes. Imagine when your computer's on, you've got 10 programs open, 10 tabs in each, and then you want to open a Zoom call. Your computer is like, okay, there's too much going on, and it just crashes. So when you take CBD, you're actually replenishing your depleted cannabinoids, and you're basically doing a reset on your endocannabinoid system. So that is how CBD works, and that is how it addresses all the health issues. So there are 3 different types of CBD. There is full spectrum, broad spectrum, and an isolate. Full spectrum, you can think of it as the whole plant, all the beneficial terpenes and cannabinoids. And broad spectrum, you can think of it as the whole plant minus THC. That is because some people may feel they have a sensitivity to THC. It may bring about more paranoia or anxiety, or maybe they have a drug test, so they might want to use a broad spectrum product. And let me backtrack. In the whole plant, all cannabinoids and terpenes have their own specific beneficial properties, such as linalool is in lavender that provides that calming effect. And limonene, let's say, is in lemon that provides that energizing boost. So when you're getting a whole plant CBD, you're getting all the cannabinoids and terpenes working together synergistically to give you the maximum healing benefits, and what they call the entourage effect. So you always want to lean toward whole plant because it's as nature intended in its full integrity. So now the third type of CBD is an isolate product, and that is just the CBD molecule itself extracted from the plant. And normally you would need a higher dose of an isolate product to equal the efficacy of a whole plant. And this is good to know because let's say you buy a product, a tincture, and you didn't know it was an isolate product, and you're taking your normal dose and you're wondering, why is it not working? and you look at it later and you realize it's because it's an isolate. So what to look for when buying CBD? Always buy an organic product because hemp is a potent bioaccumulator. So what that means is it will soak up all the toxins in the soil, which can be mold, pesticide, fungicide, heavy metals. I mean, hemp is so potent as a bioaccumulator. It was actually planted in Chernobyl to clean up the soil from the radiation. So if you're not buying an organic product, you can be ingesting all these toxins that will give you another health issue. So we definitely don't want to be doing that. Um, Also, look for a certificate of analysis from a third party lab. And what this third party lab should confirm is that it's free of the toxins that I named earlier. And also, it should confirm the potency that is in the bottle because they have found that a lot of CBD will say it's 1,000 milligrams full spectrum and really find half of it in there and maybe not even full spectrum. Maybe you're buying an isolate. So definitely look at the potency. It should also confirm, like I said, full spectrum, broad spectrum, or an isolate. And you can usually find their certificate of analysis. In the newer packaging, there is a QR code that you can use your phone to bring up and look at the certificate of analysis before you buy the product so you actually know what you're buying. If they do not have the newer packaging, you can find the COA from the brand's website. And if it does not have a COA, that is a red flag. Also look for the batch date because usually the shelf life is about 2 years. So you want to make sure you're getting the freshest product. Now, we're going to talk about the methods of delivery. There are many methods, which is great because now you have options on how to incorporate it into your routine. And when we think about method of delivery, we want to think about what you're going to lean toward, what is easy for you. Because if it's not easy, it's very hard to become part of your routine. So you want to be able to like what you're doing. And also you want to think about what you're treating, how fast you need relief, and for how long. So a person who is suffering from a panic attack might want to use a vaporizer because it provides the quickest onset. Someone who's dealing with pain might want an edible instead because of the long-lasting relief. So understanding the methods of delivery definitely helps with putting together your routine and how to use it for the most effectiveness. So tinctures are the most common way for beginners to use CBD because it's best for accurate dosaging. The onset is within 20 to 40 minutes. And when you use it, you want to place it underneath your tongue and hold it there for 60 seconds before you swallow. And what that does is it allows the CBD to be absorbed into your bloodstream under the mucous membranes underneath the tongue. And tinctures last about 4 hours. The next growing category are edibles. And edibles are, because it goes through your stomach and your liver needs to metabolize it, it does take much longer. It takes about 30 to 90 minutes and will last for about 4 to 8 hours, depending on each person. And vaporizers, like I said, has the quickest onset, I would say within 5 to 10 minutes. And the duration is 2 to 4 hours, depending how much you're taking. And topicals, the onset is within 20 minutes and lasts for about 2 to 4 hours. And topicals do not go into your bloodstream. So you can use as much as you want and ingest at the same time because it is not going into your bloodstream. So it is not mixing with what you are taking internally. And topicals are great for, any pain points, as well as skin conditions like eczema or psoriasis. Great for acne as well. And in terms of pain points, muscle aches, arthritis pain, joint pain, it's great for all of that. And then we also have suppositories, which are great for women with endometriosis, fibromyalgia. And the onset of that is within 20 minutes. It could be inserted vaginally or rectally. And it will last for about 4 to 8 hours, depending on each person as well. So now, how to find your dosage. There is no one size fits all, and it's all very trial and error. it definitely takes patience and tracking. And for general wellness, I will say it's about 1 milligram per 10 pounds. And even though I'm telling you it's 1 milligram per 10 pounds, this is again very unique per person, depending on your genetic makeup, what you're trying to treat, also your lifestyle in terms of your diet, your exercise, and if you're getting adequate sleep. So all those will play a role into it as well. And that's why we also say start low and go slow, because what I suggest is that, it takes CBD about 3 weeks to build in your body. So we always want to track it from day 1 versus day 10, because you might find that you have different results as it's slowly building into your body. So what I always suggest to do is do a self checklist, a self audit, check in with your mind and your body, and write everything down that you want to treat with CBD. So, for example, my list would look like this, and rate all the symptoms down from 1 to 10, 1 being okay and 10 to being at its worst. So let's say my list will look like this. I wake up, and for me, my anxiety shows up with like overwhelm, impatience, highly reactive. What else? And with that stress comes with the muscle tension that comes by my neck and shoulder area. I'm also getting headaches, and just rate everything from 1 to 10 and write everything down. And take your CBD and go back to your list in an hour. See if, let's say, that anxiety, did that 10 go to a 5? Then you know you're slowly working. Then you know the CBD is slowly working, but because let's say it's your first time or you haven't found your dosage, you're still playing with it, your body's still getting acclimated to it. So, and do this each day and increase your dosage until that 10 becomes a 1. And when you find the 1, then you know, okay, this is my sweet spot. This is my dosage. And the reason why I say finding your dosage is important is because then you can dosage upon your intention. And what I mean by that is, so let's say, like I was saying, I wake up in the morning and that's when my anxiety, I lack motivation. I need to be more focused and productive. So for focus and productivity, you want a dosage a little bit less than your dosage. So let's say if my normal dosage is 20, I might want a dosage at 15 milligrams instead for ultimate productivity and focus. And then, so this is how my routine looks like. I'll go through it. I do my tincture in the morning so I can start my day grounded, right? I want to be able to respond to the day's challenges instead of reacting. And I want to be super focused and productive because I've got work to do. I've got 2 children home, remote schooling. So I need to be super focused. Come lunchtime, that is when I use an edible because I know I still have the tincture in me, and I take it right before I eat. So that way it can go down with the fat from my diet, from my food, because the CBD your body will absorb it better and also faster while it's metabolizing with the food. And also, so I give the time for the edible to kick in. And I know I have a long afternoon ahead, so that long relief would be nice. And depending if I need to do more work, I dose accordingly. But if I don't, and I want to be super relaxed and I want to kick back, that's when I dosage a little bit over my dosage. So if my dosage normally is 20 milligrams, then I will try 30 milligrams to be super relaxed, kick back, and start my, relaxation mode. I don't want to think about work. I just want to really chill out. So, and once you understand that, then you can, it's all about mindful dosaging and mindful consumption. And I feel that understanding those, the basics of it really helps with it. And I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. And I know I breezed through a lot of it, so I hope that was helpful and informative. And if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to let me know. Heather, what do you think? Oh, you're on mute.
I just had on mute. Well, I'm realizing as we're doing this, I'm going, oh, because I've been trying to, go on so that I, can just show my support with people instead of having like a blank screen. But then I'm realizing maybe that this wasn't that. But you had a great presentation. You made me think about, one of my daughters is a nurse, and she does not like cannabis. And so, but she also has an issue with alcohol. And so we've talked about CBD and that type of thing. And as I was listening to you, I thought, you know what, I think I do have some CBD tinctures that I got from a really great woman that it's called Zaveda Botanical. Yeah, I really like those. And so just as you're speaking and you're sharing your slideshow, I was thinking, I really need to, share that with her, and that this might be a way for her to, just like you were saying about calming and chilling, and she was just having, kind of a, because like with her work, she can't use cannabis and she doesn't like it anyway. And like I said, and then with alcohol, she just has a bad reaction. So we were just talking about this the other day. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to bring this back up to her. But
yeah, and she can definitely book a consultation. I give my consultations for free, and I basically walk people through what I just did in a slideshow. But when I do the individual consultations, I don't have a slideshow. I'm just speaking to them, but the information is still relevant. And once they understand that, then they have a better understanding of how to use it, right? Plant medicine properly, to find the relief they need. So, and then they understand it's very different. Both THC and CBD have their own medicinal benefits, and it's just finding what is right for you. So if she doesn't like the cannabis THC, that's okay. She can try definitely CBD and how that might work for her.
Yes. Definitely. But you just inspired me as I was listening to you speak today. So you had a great presentation. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. And I'll put my website here, and you can definitely book consultations right there on my website.
Okay, thank you.
And Tiffany, yes, this is recorded, so it can definitely be, you can definitely go back to it and play it again and take a look at it. Yes. And if you have any questions here and now, anyone in the audience, definitely feel free to put it on chat, or if you want to come on stage as well, definitely, and we can have a conversation. Yes. Yeah. Heather, are you using CBD or THC or?
Well, I both, but I really enjoy these tinctures that I just drop in some soda water. So it's like, if I want something different, maybe because I can't really mix, or I exactly cannot mix alcohol or THC. And sometimes I just want something a little different. And so I use the CBD drops in, like, say, soda water. Just, maybe I just like that, or in regular water.
Yeah, no, that's a good way. And once you find what works for you, just keep at it. Some people, after doing consultations, some may find that, tinctures is too difficult for them in terms of like putting it underneath their tongue. And 4 hours redosing might be too much for them. So, they can use a vaporizer instead, or an edible, or some people feel that, they don't like the vaporizer because they're worried about, their lungs. So then that's when they can use a tincture instead. So it's all about finding the right delivery method and making it work for you. I love, mixing my products, because I find really there's a time and place for every product. For example, when my stress levels go from 0 to 60, that's when a vaporizer is really key. even for people who may be having panic attacks, right? They need that quick relief. And I also, let's say I use an edible, a gummy, and I cannot wait for that hour to kick in. I might use a vaporizer and take one hold me over for that hour. So instead of taking my regular dose, I just take one or two to hold me over until the edible kicks in. So, and there's so much innovation in product nowadays
Right.
that, I'm having fun with it, like putting honey in my, tea, right?
Right.
And chocolate and, I, I use everything CBD. I mean, from my facial oil to, for ingesting, all the different delivery methods.
Last
So,
year I grew some CBD plants, and I got a clone from I don't know if you know East Fork cultivars, but so Nathan gave me some plants. He didn't, he just said, hey, if anybody wants some. So I went over there and I picked up some plants. I grew some of those, and then I grew some THC by seed from some seeds a friend gave me. And it was the first time I really did everything from seed, but so I made, so after I grew them, I got some of them, one, was female, one was male. And then the THC, I had a couple of females, but so I had a little bit of a harvest. And so I made some coconut oil. I got this machine that I think it's Levo machine. So that was really, so it's just as I'm listening to this, I really love the tinctures from Zveda. I really, really do love those. But I also, with my own, I use it, like say if I'm having, neck pains, or I eat little like pea-sized amounts. I'm trying to see what the level is, but it isn't. I use the CBD all the time, and then I do, I'll do like the THC too. But it's just I've got it in coconut oil, and it's tasty. So I just like it.
That's awesome. Oh, that's amazing that you have the Levo. And I do have I carry East
Oh, they're
Fork.
great.
Their water soluble drops and their hemp
Mm-hmm.
oil. Yeah, I do love them. They were one of the first vendors that I carried because I just love the care that they put into it. And I mean, that's another thing I'm striving with my company is conscious
Right,
consumerism. I want to support brands that are the small
right,
farms, women owned and BIPOC owned brands. And, I mean, the quality is night and day going from a small farm versus a wholesale. It's like getting your vegetables from a local farmer or from a national, chain
right,
supermarket. So, and if they don't fall into, either categories, I like to make sure that they have a social impact or give back. So that way people can feel good about their
right.
purchases, it's the circular consumerism where I feel like everyone on all levels wins.
Right. And everyone I've met that works for that company is just super chill, and all their products are good, and yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I've been taking CBD for so long now that, in the beginning, I used to have the worst PMS symptoms. Like everything would come out. Migraines, I would break out on my face. I would have all the cramps, all the aches. And because I've been taking CBD for so long for my anxiety and postpartum depression, I found that my body just kind of like has gotten so much stronger. I don't have PMS symptoms. Now I have to use a tracker to know when my period is coming, which is the great thing. And, I used to have a knot here from a car accident that is now gone. So now I just feel like my body is stronger, my immune system is better, so I don't get as sick as I used to. So it's definitely has healed my body inside out slowly.
That's great.
Hi, Talia. Thank you. And if you have any questions, please do let me know. And I didn't try the Zavita tinctures, but I did try their topical one time, and it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, the salve, that's really good. Definitely.
yeah,
Smells good too.
yeah, yes. And do you make sure to take it every day, or are you a sporadic user?
Uh It just depends. Yeah, I guess I would say I'm sporadic. I have it sitting, I'm working from home primarily right now. So I have it sitting on, these like 3 different bottles sitting on this little table by my, in my office. But so sometimes I'll just drop it into water, but while I'm just, sitting there. So, but I don't really do it on a regular basis, but maybe I should. Or I'll do my own little, my coconut oil that I take. So, but it's not on a regular basis. So,
right. A common question that I normally get is, do I need to take it every day? Is it something that I need to take forever? And I just want to remind people that we do, produce our own cannabinoids. And not only do we produce it ourselves, but we are also using it every day. So, because I've been taking it for so long, my cannabinoid tone is pretty stable. So I find that I actually need less now for the same efficacy than when I first started, because my cannabinoid tone is more leveled out now. Does that make sense?
It's interesting as you said it, because when I do say use the tinctures, I feel a little buzz or something in my body. Like, even though normally you think, oh, CBD, you're not going to feel it, but I do. It makes me just think maybe I'm sensitive. Like, I just feel like I get a little high. Ever so slightly.
I think sometimes that is probably a sign that maybe you're taking too much.
Okay.
So just scale it back a little bit. And I have a question. My favorite tincture topical edible brands. Oh, I have so many. My favorite tincture is Tonic and East Fork. I use both of them all the time. I lie. I use a lot of the brands that I have on my website a lot, because I also like Bloom Farm CBG formula. So I do have a lot of favorites, and it's more about what my goal is. So if I want to improve my gut, inflammation and promote good gut flora, then I'm definitely using the CBG from Bloom Farms. But let's say for productivity during the day, Tonic's OG is great for that. East Fork, I love for general CBD usage. And let's see, and edible brands. I love chocolate and I love Potley honey. It's very hard. I also do love wild, and yes, but I can help you find what might be best for you in terms of what your goal is. So I don't know if that answers your question, Tiffany. Because let's say your goal is to be really chill, or let's say your goal is to be super productive, then I can help you find a product for that. So that's how I view my favorites for depending on my goal. And let's see. So for Talia, your question about what is my CBD regimen? My CBD regimen is, hold on one second. Sorry, I just had to tell my daughter, give me 10 more minutes.
Go mom on you. On them. So it's all good.
So CBD regimen. My CBD regimen looks like this. I wake up, and once I wake up, anxiety doesn't quit, right? So I use either my vaporizer or, like I said, the Tonic OG tincture, because I really want to set my day being grounded, calm, off to a good start. And so I use either the tincture or the vaporizer because I want the quickest onset. And then right before lunch, that's when I use an edible, because I want the long lasting relief for the long afternoon ahead of me. And because I know I still have the tincture left in me, I'm giving the edible time to kick in. And I want to eat it. I want to take the gummy right before I start eating my lunch. So that way the CBD goes down with the fat from my food, so that my body can hold on the absorption of the CBD, which is called bioavailability. And also it'll metabolize with the food. So I find that it metabolizes quicker. versus then, let's say, taking it on a full stomach. Um, and then after the gummy, I then usually will, depending if I have more work to do, then I dosage accordingly. And then we'll either use a vaporizer or a tincture. And then come nighttime, this is when I use my CBN vaporizer, because usually I don't use an edible or a tincture for the CBN because I work till like sometimes 1 a.m. So I don't have time for it to kick in. So I need the immediate relief, and I need all the minutes I can get. So I use my CBN vaporizer. And that's how my routine looks like. And when I want for an afternoon treat, that's when I do the honey in my tea. That's when I break out the chocolate and treat myself. Women owned. Oh, Empower. Yes. I actually have Empower on my website as well.
Yeah, they're really good, and one of the first ones I really used. And when my mother was getting ill, she thereafter passed away, and was really anti-cannabis. But we started putting the Empower topical on her where she was hurting and her different pains, and she became, both her and my dad became really cannabis advocates. Like, it's just amazing, because I grew up with the whole, like, you know, reefer madness and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But just, with, even though it was CBD, it was a gateway into letting letting her accept that it's okay to use this, as a healing.
Yeah. Yes, it is great. I believe the Empower products are also isolates. So just letting you know. Yeah,
That's
Tiffany. Cool. Yeah. Yes. And the way that I curate the products in my selection is that I believe everything there is for a reason. I feel like sometimes I walk into some dispensaries and they just have, you know, 30 different tinctures and they're all doing the same thing. So usually I have a product there for a reason. I don't want to overload with the same kind of products because each person has different symptoms and have different lifestyle preferences. So the idea of the curation of the CBD regimen is that, I want to find products that will help you instead of you trying 5 different products wondering, okay, is this going to help with the ailment that I have? Because especially now with all the new research, they're coming out with new cannabinoids. Like before, like I was saying, a higher dosage of CBD will help with relaxation and give you better sleep, right? But now we're finding CBN is even more potent for sleep. So instead of going through your CBD bottles because you need to use a higher dosage, you can use CBN in lower doses and really help with sleep. And, so I find that, one, it's cost saving and you're finding a cannabinoid that can do the job better. So just like CBG is great for people who may have autoimmune disease and because it's, great for inflammation and great for promoting good gut flora. So.
Well, great. Well, thank you. I'm going to see if what's out there, but I really appreciate your presentation.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. I'm glad. Take care. Bye, Heather. Talia, your favorite Black women-owned CBD drink is by a company called Wonder. Oh, I love finding different ways that CBD. Yes, I know. It's so fun. Thank you, Tiffany. Yes, I love adding different ways to add CBD into my routine. And, I love using both THC and CBD. And I think it's all about, like I said, there's a time and place for everything. Like when it's Friday night and the weekend is here, that's when I use the THC side, right? So there's definitely a time and place for everything. And now, I'm trying, I feel more complete when I have a combination of both. Yes, that's good. That's good that, you found what works for you. And There's definitely combos are great too for, let's say, someone who's experiencing extreme pain. They might need the THC, but let's say they need to be, functional during the day. That's when, we can use different ratios of THC to CBD to really address their concern and what might work for them. And let's say it's nighttime and they may not need the CBD at that point. They can just use the THC. So there's definitely medicinal benefits on all the cannabinoids, really. Yeah. I wish that New York is going legal, but at the time we still cannot get those different combinations. So I'm guessing you're probably in Oregon, which is, yes, I'm envious. Oh, you're in Missouri. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Okay. So I guess it's legal there, I'm assuming, for both. Ah, got it. Medical is legal. Oh, okay. So yeah, I have my medical card too, but it's just so expensive. So I've learned to just manage with CBD, which is, you know, okay. Illinois is 10 minutes away. And lately I've been trying out Delta 9, which is, I have to say, it's been quite nice. Have you tried Delta 9 yet? And if you would like to come on stage, I would totally welcome it. And if you have tried Delta 9, let me know what you think of it. I mean, sorry, Delta 8, Delta 8.
Oh, I'm here.
Hi,
Hi.
Talia. How
I'm
are
good. How are
you?
you? I have not
Good.
tried Delta 8, but I was about to ask you about that. There's a bookstore that oddly enough started sell like is the first place you could get CBD in our area. And sign up saying she has Delta 8, but I haven't tried it and I was going to ask what that is all about.
So Delta 8, they have found is another cannabinoid, but it is not um, the plant doesn't have a lot of it. So there's been some controversy and that it's not naturally made is what I'm hearing. I'm still looking into it. What they have been doing is taking CBD because there's more CBD cannabinoids found in the plant, and they're taking that and synthesizing it to create Delta 8. So, but because it is made from the hemp plant and does not exceed 0.3% THC, it is
What is
legal.
that experience
Um,
like?
it is what they call THC light.
Oh.
So for me, I find that I don't get the munchies, which is great, right? Because I'm not eating out the whole refrigerator. Um, I'm also not feeling tired when I'm coming down, that I usually get with THC. And also, it does not have the paranoia and anxiety that comes with THC. And the funny thing is, I thought that I didn't experience the paranoia and anxiety with THC because it never was like, oh, that scary feeling that, but after taking the Delta 8, then I realized how it was showing up for me in the past was that constant questioning myself, doubting, oh, did I do
Yes.
that? Did I close the light? Did that email, did it sound normal? Is it, is it okay to
Yep.
send out? So now I realize that was how the anxiety and paranoia was showing up to me. So now with the Delta 8, I'm not feeling that. So it's awesome.
I'm glad you mentioned
For
that because
me.
I'd been seeing her sign and I was like, I don't know what
Uh-huh.
this means. So, um, cost wise, is
Right.
it similar to CBD?
I feel that because the demand, to make it, it costs, from what I hear, a little bit more expensive, but because the demand of it is high, because people who are looking for, THC, regular THC, they are now using Delta 8 because it's
Mm-hmm.
around and it's, legal. So cost wise, it's
Okay.
I would say, to CBD. And you'll see some on my website. They're like, I would say about $40 a cart, which is pretty normal. In fact, I find that the regular THC is probably
Okay.
more expensive. And the edibles are also, I think, 35 too. So it's pretty. If you're looking for THC, I would say this is cheaper than that. And it's legal.
But
So
you said it's
those are.
synthesized from.
It's synthesized from CBD. So they are using CBD to convert it into
Do you know
Delta
what
8.
that conversion process is? And I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
That,
I'm a science
yeah,
person.
that I'm not so sure yet. I'm still trying to understand
Okay.
that myself. Um, because I also want to make sure that I'm
Right.
using a safe product. I have, from what I can say, is that um, I have been using it so far about a month. I have not felt any side effects or, so,
Is that one
and
that you use daily? Have you been using it daily? Okay.
yeah, yeah. And I've been using the vape. And and the funny thing is I wasn't intending to use it, but because I like that it doesn't have all the um
Yeah.
all the things that I mentioned that comes with regular THC, that I'm really enjoying it. So at nighttime, I just need to like kick back a little bit. So I've been using it, yeah, at least like once at night.
I'm so
At
excited
night.
to try it now.
So yeah, yeah, it's um, definitely. I like that I don't get tired when I'm coming down, especially like on the weekends
Yeah.
when I'm out, I'm with the kids, and sometimes I need to kick back, but I want to be definitely more functional and
Yeah.
not feeling tired. So this definitely with that.
So
Yeah.
I
So
more than I should. I smoke before I go to work. And so like, occasionally, there's a time where I'm like, this was a bad idea. Like when the
yeah,
anxiety does kick in and that's usually something that I would say I don't experience. But yeah, I'm just thinking about,
right.
I feel better when I'm a little balanced, I feel, with CBD or THC. And obviously I take a break
Hmm.
every once in a while, but just from a mental clarity, it might be
Yeah.
a better morning option for me.
And also, if you ever feel that way with the THC, you can take some CBD to bring you more down in case,
Oh
like
yeah,
if
my
you're at work.
favorite.
So that way
I
you don't have that.
love a good 1-to-1. Um, I I've not been able to find a 1-to-1 flower here, but I can always get
Mm,
a vape. But yeah, and I think that's why I like the CBD combination, because THC is cool, but it just feels like there's a little something missing for me. And I know everybody's different, but I love the
mhm.
combination.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. And if you have any other questions, I would
Yeah.
love to answer it, or at least
I've
try to.
been on your website ever since, you put it in the chat. So I'm going to go back and see what I
Oh,
like, and I'll probably message you.
yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Awesome. And are you in the cannabis
That is my
space,
goal.
or
So I do compliance. Oddly enough, I'm coming to work high. Um, I do
that's
compliance for
awesome.
a cement manufacturer. So what I've been trying to do is pivot into the cannabis space, because I don't think, I surely didn't realize what a big role compliance played in like manufacturing and all these businesses, because if you want to do something, you have to do it per the law, per the regulations, by the book. So I've been trying to market more cannabis compliance jobs, and I've had a couple of interviews, but Sam and Lisa, we had our check-in, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and they shared my resume. I had somebody text me during this, and she was like, "Hey, I just got your resume from Sam and Lisa." And I shared it with some people from Missouri. So this girl lives in Washington or Oregon now. And she was like, "I shared it with some people with Missouri. Let's talk this week." And I was like, I'm getting close.
I'm so
Me
excited
too.
for you. That's
I love my
awesome.
job. Well, I love what I do. But I've been a cannabis enthusiast my whole life. And so like, it's cool. Just like thinking about, when I was in college and my parents found like an ounce of weed in the car, and I was like, like didn't have a car. And now like, just being like, "No, Mom, I have a card and it's my medicine." Like, like just like how everything is flipped,
Yes,
and it is a
yes.
legitimate job opportunity. But I just feel like Missouri is not quite there yet. Like, everybody on the West Coast has had all this time to realize, hey, we've got to have somebody looking at these rules. But yeah, I'm hoping we get there. I know we will get there. And I want to be in on the ground floor, as much as possible. I think that building my own program would be awesome, but I'll take what I can get.
Oh, yeah. I would love to connect with you offline and we could talk
Absolutely.
more. Yes. I'm going to put my email in the chat, and
I'll do the same.
And I think, I'm not sure, but I think, I'm not sure if the event finished. The live
Oh my
stage
gosh, we're
is
just
not
here
lit up.
chatting it up. I just noticed that too.
Okay, I'm going to see if maybe we could catch the end of it, because let's see if they have closing remarks. But it was so great meeting you, and I'll connect with you.
Absolutely.
Email.
Bye, Amy.
Bye.